So it's Wednesday here in the studio and I have my kiln going. We're going to be casting around 2:30 today. I have a flask of silver pieces. I believe it's 2 rings and an earring. So we have 5 stones to set. I believe 3 are claw settings and 2 as a pair of earrings are going to be grain settings, and then 1 is going to be a flush setting. It's been a while since I've shared any of my techniques here on YouTube. My studio vlogs recently have been more for entertainment and just watching my day. So I am going to share a little bit on how I set these stones and just some little tips as I go along. So if you are another jeweler and you're kind of new, then this studio vlog might be worth actually watching the full thing through. And if you are experienced and you want to give really nice critiques, I totally welcome that too. You guys know that I've taught myself everything so far, so although what I do works, it may not be the proper technique or the most effective. So if you have any tips, please leave it down in the description because we can all learn from those. I've learned so much since I started this channel just by people leaving their advice and their kind critiques in the comments. So I always welcome that and I'm really grateful for it. I mentioned in my previous video that my overhead light broke, the one that sits at my actual jeweler's bench, and I really feel I need that light in order to set at least the flush stone. These prong settings though are for a pretty large stone. I believe it's a 9x6 pear shaped stone, so I think I can do that without the overhead light. It's not too dark right now. It's in the early afternoon. So I'm gonna set this first one. It's a pink tourmaline. I love this ring so much. It's the Ollie ring. It's actually the one that I'm wearing right now. So this person got the last pink tourmaline of this ring. I love this ring so much. It's one of my favorites. And then I have 2 more of these that we'll be setting stones for. And this is gonna be, instead of a pink tourmaline, it's going to be a pear-shaped peridot, which I've been working a lot with peridots recently. If you look at my Instagram, you can see that people have just been ordering peridot recently, and I'm okay with it. It's a super bright, beautiful green color, perfect for the summertime. The only thing about peridot that I don't enjoy is that they can chip really easily, so you have to be really careful when setting those stones. But I am really excited to see the Ollie with a peridot gemstone. I forgot though that I'm still waiting on one of those peridot from Rio Grande. I only have 1, so I'll actually only be setting 2 Ollie rings today. I'm gonna clean up my work area a little bit and then we'll get started on setting the stone.
I never ever want to be apart from all the things that are you. I know our love will see us through. Don't you feel the times are coming? 'Cause I feel it so strong. I've been on hold on, baby. Don't you feel the times are coming? When it feels so right to dance in the moonlight, baby, with you. Don't you feel the times are coming? 'Cause I feel it so strong. I've been on hold on, baby. Oh, don't you feel the times are coming? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Oh, don't you feel the times are coming?
So when you're bending back these prongs after casting, I like to use these little needle nose pliers, and you want to grab at the base of the prong and just use your wrist to twist backwards. So grab at the base and use your wrist to twist backwards. You want to do this slowly, but not too many times, because the more you move them, the more you're going to work hard in them. So let me show you. I like to test the stone as I go through. I don't pull them all the way up. I open them up just a little bit, and then I take my stone and I test it. So I've got it open, and hopefully we can get our stone in without opening it any further. So there's something I forgot. So a really important part of this setting is burring out a spot for the tip of this stone to sit. If you're working with stones that have corners or points, so a pear-shaped stone, emerald, baguette, you really have to burr out a little hole for that point to sit in. Otherwise, when you go to set the stone and you push the metal down over that little corner, it's gonna chip your stone. I just take a small little ball burr, a really small one, or a stone setting burr. I usually like to go for a ball burr, but this is all I have right now, so I'm gonna use a stone setting burr. But right where that point goes, I'm gonna take this and I'm going to burr out a little bit of metal right here where that point goes. And that way it has a little pocket to sit in. Because I made this setting in wax, it already has the little notches out for the girdle of the stone, but I just went back over them with that drill bit. So now you can see how much easier that went in because that little tip had the perfect place to sit. So it's all sitting nice and flat. I'm just gonna turn my claw because it's a little bit crooked. And now I'm just going to use like your standard pusher to push the prong over. You want to be careful with this not to slip and push a little bit of each side at a time. Don't go all the way down with one prong. Do a little bit at a time. Just keep checking it as you go. Just push a little at a time. The top of this prong feels a little bit thick and it's making it a little hard to push over. So instead of forcing it, because I know it's easy to want to just force it over, I'm gonna thin it down a little bit and that way it'll be easier to push it. So I'm gonna take my beret file, and a beret file is just a file that has teeth on the bottom but not on the corners or sides. And I'm just gonna file it down just to thin it out a little bit so it's easier to push over. If there's one thing with jewelry making, it's that you never, ever, ever want to rush your process because that's how you end up with broken stones or scratches on your stones or breaking your prongs. And once you mess it up, it's really hard to go back from there. So always take your time and do it right the first time. I know that sometimes can be not the most exciting way to do things. Okay, so I've thinned that out a little bit. Sorry for the squeaky thing, I need to WD-40 this. The stone is sitting nice and even, the prongs are nice and flat. So I just finished filing up these prongs and everything is nice and even and she looks really pretty. I just need to give her a little more sanding and polishing and then she will be done and ready to go home. So I'm gonna set her aside so that we can polish and sand all at the same time, but she is pretty much done. So I decided to put my dust collector behind my desk because the hose fit better over the top of the back of the bench. And so now I have to stick my leg underneath to turn it off. So this is how I do it. And I just use my big toe. So y'all just saw me sand off some of this old silver that I had used from previous castings. This one had some investment still on it, so I went ahead and sanded it off just so it was nice and clean. I'm sure that investment powder would have burnt off, but I would like to keep my metal as clean as possible for when I'm pouring new pieces. When you're casting, you want to use at least half of fresh casting grain, so like this casting grain, and then you can use the other half as like recycled silver. So I'm gonna recycle this and then I'm gonna measure out the new silver. The kiln is at the correct temperature and it has been for about 15 minutes now, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the silver in, so by the time it heats up and is hot enough, we're ready to pour. So let's go measure everything out. just finished casting and cleaning up that piece. I just took some Dawn dish soap and scrubbed it up to get as much investment off as I could before I put it in the pickle pot. And I do want to mention something because I obviously share a lot, like, as I learn with casting and stone setting and everything, but one thing that I've learned recently with casting is the last few times I've been casting silver jewelry, I've been lowering my temperature a little bit to anywhere from 1760 to 1780. Before, I was going up to about 1800, maybe even a little bit higher than that at times, and I noticed I was getting more porosity when I had it at that higher temperature than when I got it lower. I haven't had any trouble pouring at 1760, and I know my pieces, since pouring at that lower temperature, have come out much more smooth, less porosity. So if you're having trouble and you're trying to troubleshoot your casting, if you have a little bit of porosity or like those tiny teensy little dimples in your work, then your metal might be too hot and you might need to lower it. So just a little side note. I'm gonna put these in the pickle pot right now and get them nice and clean. And while that's in there, because I just turned the pickle pot on, it's not hot yet. So while that's in there, I'm gonna start the chili for dinner tonight and get that in the crock pot, like the real crock pot, the one I actually eat with. I'm just gonna get that started and put it on high and then come back down here. Let me put this in the crock pot, 1 second. Let me take this off because it's getting kind of hot in here. It's been so warm all over the States, I know that, but here in Idaho, it's been really warm. And I don't know if you guys know this or not. I didn't know this before I moved to Idaho, but most homes out here don't have AC because it doesn't really get hot enough for long enough to need AC. So these heat waves can be really rough. Thank God I have a basement where it's a lot cooler than it is upstairs, but I was just getting really hot. But anyway, UPS delivered some gold from Rio Grande that I had ordered, as well as that second peridot that I was telling you guys about, so I can set that now. And then they also delivered the overhead light, which is really awesome, with perfect timing. I do want to open these real quick and then I'm gonna go start dinner. So clearly I'm a girly girl, and if there's an option to get anything pink, I'm gonna get it. So when I saw this hot pink light, I had to get it. But one thing that I love about it that I didn't even notice when buying it is how long the arm is. I always keep my light here on my main bench, and I don't have one here on my wax bench, so I always had to unscrew it, move it. But this one is long enough, it can reach where I can turn it over to my wax bench and I can work under this light right here. And then I can rotate, it's a full 360 light. And then I can bend it back to make it shorter. I love it. Okay, dinner time. So I just took the castings out of the pickle pot and just cleaned them up again with some Dawn dish soap and water. Now that I have my light though, I'm gonna work on setting this stone for this Madrina ring, and then I'm gonna cut these off and set these two peridot in these rings. These I think I'm gonna save for tomorrow because these are earrings that are gonna be in my next collection, so I wanna prioritize orders first. I have 2 more orders that I need to prep for casting tomorrow. So we're gonna be doing that tomorrow, casting 2 gold rings. And while those are casting, I have some hoops that I need to make. They're called the helm hoops, and I'll put them on the screen right here, but these are some some of the oldest hoops that I've had before I ever started casting. I make these out of silver wire and brass balls, and I think they're super beautiful. They're big hoops, but they're very dainty and very light. So I'm gonna make those tomorrow because they're for a friend and I need to bring them to her this weekend. We're gonna go on a movie date with her and some of my old coworkers, and so I'll have to bring her those earrings then. So I need to focus on these 3 rings, finish these today, and then tomorrow casting gold rings, making those hoops, and yeah, so it's already 5 o'clock. Let's get moving. For this Madrina ring, I already carved out the seat for the stone off camera a few days ago. I filmed a tips video for my Instagram subscribers. If you guys don't know, I do have a subscription service on Instagram where I share 2 reels a week of tips, and they're like more in-depth tips than what I normally share here, and they're in a reel, so it's like very quick, whereas in my YouTube videos you kind of have to dig sometimes for these tips, and I do share tips on YouTube too, but on Instagram they're very quick, and I have a whole catalog of like frequently asked questions, and then I do a live Q&A once a month with them over there and answer any questions that they have, and then also I'm at their like full disposal, so they can message me anytime and I can answer any questions that they have or help them through any pain points that they're having. And it's just a really nice community that we've built over there. So if you're wanting to learn more about jewelry and have some more help and interaction, then you can join us over there on Instagram. But I just showed them how to fix your stone whenever it's not sitting completely flat after casting. For this ring, the back half of it was sitting a little bit higher than the front half, so I just showed them a little trick on how you can check what the problem is on the inside. And a lot of people know this. There's this spray that you can use, which I don't have it, I used a Sharpie, but there's a spray that you can use called Seat Check, and you spray the inside of your setting and then you put your stone in and kind of give it a little rub, and it'll show you where your stone is making contact, and that is how you know where you need to burr away and take away some metal. So I did it with a Sharpie just because I was desperate and I didn't have that stuff, so I did that on camera. So now I just need to make sure all that Sharpie is gone and then set this stone and move on to the peridot ones. I know this is a weird angle, but I don't want to move the camera. Y'all know I use the Fordham hammer handpiece to set these stones, but sometimes the attachments that they send are too big, but they do send you kind of a blank one that you can modify yourself, or that's what I assumed it was for at least, but you can modify these if you find that they're not fitting your needs. I use the bezel rocker attachment. I don't know if you can see this, but let me just zoom you in. On these larger stones, I use this bezel rocker attachment that came with the Fordham, and it works really well, but sometimes you need to get even closer, and this is too big. I worry about breaking my stone. I don't have as much control. It also has a larger face, so I just can't get into some of those tighter spots. So if you just get a stone wheel or a diamond cutting wheel or a grinding wheel, whatever you want to call it, you can take the blank one that they sent. This one just had like a square face on it, and you can shape it to be whatever you need. So I put this into my Fordham, and then I just held this by hand and grinded it down until I got the shape that I wanted, and pretty much I just created a mini bezel rocker. You can see it's just shaped like the same little rocker but a lot smaller, and I rounded off the face so it's really nice and smooth, no harsh lines. Once you're done shaping it to the shape that you need, just remember to polish it really well, just like you would a piece of jewelry. You want it to be really shiny and really smooth so that it doesn't leave any marks on your jewelry. I'm gonna put this on and push this bezel down down the rest of the way, and then I'm going to cut it with a flat graver. Obviously, you guys know I'm still learning and still growing in these skills. And so one thing I've been doing that I wish I would have done a lot sooner, when I'm making jewelry that has like a clean setting, it's not this molten, like supposed to be super organic and messy setting, I never used to use a flat graver to make bright cuts around the inside or to make sure that it was really nice and smooth on the inside. So I've been doing that, and it has made such a difference in this particular ring, that Madrina ring. I started doing that maybe a month or two ago, and I've been doing it ever since on any settings that are supposed to be really clean and straight. And so I'll show you guys me doing that as well. Okay, so it's Thursday, and last night we finished the Madrina ring, and we finished the Ollie ring, the pink tourmaline one. So now we just have those other two Ollies. I want to finish those completely and package them up and send them out today. And then when we come back, we're going to work on the wax pieces, get those invested so I can cast them tomorrow. And then I'm very, very, very eager to make these peridot earrings. So I'm going to make those while the gold ones are investing. I'm going to try and get through these really quickly because I'm getting my hair cut today at 5, so I need to be done by 4:30. I think since COVID, I had my hair professionally cut once. And aside from that, I've been cutting my own hair, and it's gone okay, as good as cutting your own hair can go. But the last time that I cut my hair, I did a horrible job with my layers, and my hair has been so uneven since. And I'm new to this area, so I don't know any good hairdressers, and I was scared to just take a shot in the dark and just pick one. So I did yesterday, and I made an appointment with just someone in town, so I'm hoping that they do a decent job. Anyway, let's set these stones.
something that is so real. Oh, I'm trying to heal. I wanna run with you, run away. Just run away and leave this world behind us. I wanna run with you, run away. Just buy a ticket and I'll see you on the next bus. And I'll see you on the next bus. Ride with you, run away. Just run away and leave this world behind us. Run with you, run away. Just buy a ticket and I'll see you on the next bus. Run away.
So I hope you guys can hear me over the ultrasonic, but I just put the jewelry in the ultrasonic cleaner. I really recommend an ultrasonic, especially after you're polishing with compounds. It can get in all those nooks and crannies that you can't reach afterward, and that ultrasonic will blast all of that compound out of the rings. I have one ring in particular that has an engraving in it. Well, not an engraving in it. It has a star pattern cut into it. I'll show you guys whenever I'm done, but it also has the stone grain set, and it's really hard, if not impossible, to get compound out of those grain settings without an ultrasonic. I've tried it in the past and I've never had much success with it, so if anyone knows how else you can get compound out of those tiny areas without an ultrasonic, then please let me know. But I got my haircut appointment moved up to 4:30 and it's 4 o'clock right now. So I'm gonna package this up whenever I get back from that and after dinner. So tonight pretty much, and then I will mail it off tomorrow. I'm gonna end today here and I'll see you in the morning. So it's Friday. I'm about to package up these rings. I've got the 3 Ollie rings and that Madrina ring, and I'm gonna take them to Miss Tina at the post office, and then we're gonna come back and make those hoops for my friend tomorrow. I want to make sure I have those done so that I can take them to her in the morning. And then if I have time, I'm going to finish those gold pieces. I don't have much to do on those since they're already sitting on my desk. They're mostly done. I just need to seat some stones in there because one of them is a cast in place ring. It's the Starry Night ring. I already planned on casting this weekend, so I'm just going to cast them over the weekend and have them out by Monday. So that's the plan for today, so let's start packaging these rings.
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Summer love, lonesome dove, folded on the lawn chair in all the colors. Summer love. Stop giving back. Honeysuckle, fresh cut grass. I could really use some stuff like that. Talk to me and tell me all that you've seen and all the colors. Summer love, memories washed in every shade of green and all the colors. Summer love. Day canoe, bathing in the turquoise.
So I just finished soldering on the ear post for the other peridot flower earring, and I finished setting this one. I'll get a better shot of it. I want to polish it so badly though, but I want to wait until I have them both done so I can polish them and put them on. So while that's getting cleaned in the pickle pot, I'm going to go ahead and start on those hoops. One of the things I'm really glad that I have in the studio, because it saved me a lot of money and time, is having a rolling mill. I used to always try and keep stock of different shaped wires, different size wires, flat, half round, all of those things. And now I pretty much only keep 2 different sizes in my studio, and that's a big size and a smaller size, and then I can roll it out into whatever shape or length that I need here in my rolling mill. I need some flat wire for these hoops, and so I have a round wire. I think this is 12 gauge or 13 gauge. I'll put it up here on the screen, but this is what I'm going to make the hoops out of, and I'm going to flatten it out in the rolling mill right now. A rolling mill is obviously a staple in your studio. There's so many different things that you can use it for. I use it for shaping my wire, lengthening wire. If I need silver sheet and I don't have any, I can pour an ingot and create it here with my rolling mill. And I think it's really important to have a combination rolling mill. There's so many rolling mills out on the market and they're not cheap. So having a combination mill, I feel, is really important. A combination mill has a flat part so that you can roll flat wire and roll out sheet, and then it also has on one side where you can get half round wire, and then another side where you can roll out square wire. If you're looking for a good rolling mill, I have my Durston one linked in the description. It's small and compact, but I've used this one and I've used a cheap one that I got on Amazon. The cheap one on Amazon works decently fine. If you're working under a budget and you need something that's a budget mill, then get that one. But if you want to follow the buy once cry once method and just buy something of quality the first time and have it last forever, then this mill is what you'll want to get.
Now I got someone to embrace. From the day you stole my heart, I meant forever want to be apart. Don't you feel the times are coming? 'Cause I feel it so strong. I've been on hold on, baby. Don't you feel the times are coming? When it feels so right to dance in the moonlight, baby, with you. Sometimes we all struggle, but when the sun's my face, I think of you and all my troubles are gone without a trace. From all the things that are you, I know our love will see us through. Don't you feel the times are coming? 'Cause I feel it so strong. I've been on hold on, baby. Don't you feel the times are coming? When it feels so right to dance in the moonlight, baby, with you. How wonderful life can be.
Okay, so it is Sunday and I have those 2 gold pieces that I need to finish and invest today. They're almost done. I just need to set the stones in them and resize them and just kind of clean them up a little bit. And then I'm gonna invest the flask and let it sit until it's time to put them in the kiln. I do think I'm gonna start that today. That way I can cast probably around 11 o'clock or midnight, just before bed, and then I can finish them tomorrow and mail them out before lunchtime. I'm really eager to get these done though, because I don't know if you guys know, but we bought a house almost a year ago, and it's an older home. It was built in the 60s, and so it needs a ton of updating. And I recently painted the outside of the house, and I took off the old, ugly, like blue, dry, rotted shutters. And yesterday I went to Home Depot and got some wood to remake some new shutters. So I'm gonna try and get these done within the hour and get them invested so I can go outside and start these shutters. I'm honestly not the best at home, like DIY things, but there are just some things that you have to do yourself in order to save money. But now through experience, I know how good it feels to finish a project and see the difference that it makes in your home. So I am excited to just get them on the wall. I feel like my house right now looks like when you put foundation on but no blush, bronzer, and mascara, and it just kind of looks naked. So I'm really excited to get those made. If I get them done in time and I have a photo of them, I'll put them on the screen so y'all can see like a before and after, but I'm just really excited to get outside. It's also beautiful and sunny and the perfect temperature. Oh, I also wanted to show you guys, I gave you a little clip of the earrings after I finished them yesterday. No, was it the night before last? But I wanted you to see them on as well. These came out so much better than I even thought. You guys know like my signature go-to look for my jewelry is like this molten, like free-flowing texture. That's like what people know me for, and I love my style. I'm not trying to change it, but this is the first time that I've ever actually like sculpted an object, like a flower. All of my other jewelry is just, you know, you guys know, you see my work. So this is the first time I had ever sculpted an actual object, a flower, and I feel like it came out so well. I'm very, very proud of them. They're honestly so light and comfortable to wear, and the peridot looks so gorgeous with this silver. I love these earrings so much. I really hope that they do well. Making jewelry this large is always such a risk because it does not appeal to everyone. There's so many people that just love dainty, smaller jewelry, but there are people like me that love pieces that pop, and I feel like personally, if you're gonna spend a lot of money on jewelry or handmade jewelry, you should want it to be something that's gonna be seen and like seen from a mile away. I think one thing that people worry about with large jewelry is they worry about how comfortable it will be. Will it pull on their earlobes, whatever. So I don't know how to tell people how light they are without just showing them, but nothing's like pulling on my ears. They're so comfortable. I wore them all day yesterday and they were perfect. If you are one of those people that's worried about wearing larger jewelry, or you maybe have worn larger earrings in the past and they don't feel comfortable to you, they maybe dangle a lot or they pull on your earlobes, I do have a tip that works really well, and that is just changing your ear posts in the back. I've seen videos of people putting pieces of band-aid on the back of their earlobes just to add a little extra support for your larger earrings, and that does work, but I feel like I'd waste a lot of band-aids like that. It's good for in an emergency situation where you don't have these earring backs, but for larger earrings, you need these. Instead of using like your normal earring back posts, like I think they're called butterfly, you know, backs, you wanna, just threw that down on the ground. You wanna use, oh my gosh. You wanna use these kind. It's the earring backs that have that plastic on the back that just adds more support. It just gives more of a surface area on the back of your ear to hold your earring in the front if you're wearing a larger earring. So that's just a little tip. If you have some larger earrings that you love but you don't wear very often because they're not comfortable, try getting those earring backs. I think you can just get them on Amazon and it will really, really help. When I put these on with just the smaller little butterfly backs that didn't have that plastic surround, they do tilt forward a little bit more because they don't have support. When I put those on though, it completely like sucked them back and they don't move as much or tilt forward, making them super comfortable to wear. So I'm just really proud of them. I love how they look. The grain setting went great. They're big, they're bold, they pop, they have great texture. They look like a flower. It does make me want to try new styles and sculpt more things. It's just a good reminder to step outside of your comfort zone when you feel like you found what you're good at or what feels right to you or feels comfortable to you, to not be scared to change it up and try new things because you just might impress yourself. Let's get started on this jewelry and then we'll work on the shutters. I say we, but not you guys. I won't do that to you unless it's something that you're interested in. flask is setting, and I invested it a little bit later in the day, so I don't think I'll be casting tonight, but I will be turning on the kiln tonight so I can cast in the morning. If I can get a clip of that, I'll include it at the end of this video. But that ends today's vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end. I feel like this was a really long one, but a lot of these longer vlogs are some of my favorites. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video vlog, and if you did, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow, and I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.